Imagine a scenario straight out of a thriller. U.S. Navy commandos fast roping from helicopters onto a massive oil tanker in the open sea. This isn't just a hypothetical anymore. It's part of a complex and risky strategy unfolding right now as the United States implements a naval blockade against Iran. The U.S. military has confirmed it successfully blocked ships from exiting Iran, launching this significant naval operation on Monday. We're talking over 10,000 troops, a dozen warships, and scores of aircraft involved. President Donald Trump announced the blockade Sunday after crucial negotiation talks between Washington and Tehran collapsed. The goal? To stop Iran's vital oil exports and put immense pressure on its struggling economy. While Iran has deterred most ships from passing through the Strait of Hormuz since March, Iranian tankers have still been making the transit to deliver oil to key buyers like China. The U.S. blockade is specifically designed to halt these shipments. The U.S. Central Command, CENTCOM, claimed success on day one, reporting that no ships had bypassed the blockade, and 6 merchant vessels complied with orders to turn around. In one notable instance, the Rich Starry, a Chinese chemical and crude oil carrier known for moving Iranian oil, initially seemed to have made it out, but was later seen back in the Persian Gulf. But how exactly is the U.S. pulling this off, and why is it so incredibly risky? According to Steve Prest, an associate fellow at the UK defense think tank RUSI and a retired Commodore, enforcement presents huge challenges. While the U.S. Fifth Fleet has a comprehensive intelligence picture of shipping in the region, the real difficulty lies in tracking ghost ships. These vessels might use spoofing techniques, where their automatic identification systems, or AIS, report false locations and movements. For example, a ship's AIS could show it anchored in the northern Gulf, when it's actually sailed to Karg Island. Another complication arises if a vessel enters a third nation port before attempting to exit the Strait of Hormuz. When exactly does a prior port visit count as originating from Iran? The U.S. military has stated it's only stopping vessels that come directly from Iranian ports or coastal waters. And there's even the possibility of ship-to-ship transfers in international waters, meaning the vessel never even enters Iranian territory. Tracking all this demands a vast array of assets, from cyber intelligence, satellites, and drones, to maritime patrol aircraft, warships, helicopters, and even commandos. Prest believes the main surveillance will happen in the Persian Gulf itself and along the Iranian coast in the Gulf of Oman. So where are these interceptions happening? Prest suggests any direct interdiction is likely to occur further out in the Gulf of Oman or the Arabian Sea, past the Strait of Hormuz. This strategic distance keeps U.S. Navy ships safely out of range from Iran's coastal missile and drone batteries. But this area is massive, roughly 250,000 square miles, requiring significant naval resources to maintain the blockade. Shipping data showed the Rich Starry, after making it through Hormuz, had to turn around near Iran's Josk port in the Gulf of Oman. Separately, a U.S. Navy destroyer stopped 2 oil tankers attempting to leave Iran's Chabahar port, the last port before ships exit the Gulf, instructing them to turn back. Now, to that dramatic question, could commandos actually board these vessels? CENTCOM has confirmed that guided missile destroyers, each with a crew of over 300 highly trained sailors, are part of the operation. Prest confirmed that boarding teams, often led by commandos, could be embarked onto a target ship, typically fast roping from a helicopter or climbing from a boat. While it's unlikely that a civilian crew would resist, the situation becomes far more complex if the flag nations of these vessels, say China, decide to escort their tankers with their own warships or put military detachments on board. In such a scenario, Prest says it's highly unlikely the U.S. Navy would attempt to board. In many cases, though, a boarding might not even be necessary. A simple radio instruction to divert the ship to an anchorage or a harbor under escort might suffice. But even then, the questions don't end there. Where would these diverted vessels go? Prest points out that it's unlikely countries like Oman or Pakistan would want to host such ships, as it would put them in an incredibly awkward position with their neighbors. And then there's the ultimate question: what happens to the vessel and its oil if it's seized? Are they spoils of war, or are they impounded until the conflict ends? These are complex legal and logistical questions that, as Prest notes, have yet to be publicly discussed or answered. For now, shipping data shows that some of the ships turned around have simply returned through the strait to the Persian Gulf. This blockade is a high-stakes move, fraught with diplomatic and military complexities. We'll be keeping a close eye on how this unprecedented situation unfolds in the coming days and weeks.